Okay, there is really no way this video is going to come off very good, but we're going to try it anyways. I am going to demonstrate a juicer on. Whenever I'm doing something like soft berries, like you see here, I always run them through first because I've got to where I like to strain my juices, and the soft berries don't need to be strained. So, we're going to throw in the soft berries first, run them through. See, we're already getting a little juiciness here. Kicking the waste out that side, it's fairly dry for a soft berry. There's the juice coming out that side. This is going to be delicious. One of the things that I try to do is to sneak in some of the less appealing flavors with some flavors that are really appealing. So we got berries. It's going to kind of help absorb the taste of the spinach and the cucumber, and carrots are good. Celery doesn't taste good or bad. Let's just dump them all in there. Whoa. Okay. So this baby's going to feast on these berries. We got blackberries and raspberries here coming on through. Now, you can see the extras kicking out. If you was to kind of make like a maybe some kind of a frosting that you want a strawberry, raspberry, or something in, that would be awesome. I'm going to chase it with a few apples just to help that get all the berryness out, and then I'll start running some vegetables down. Okay, because we want to get all the berry stuff before we get into the stuff that we have to strain. Okay, that is kind of doing its thing. You can see we got a lot of juice coming out of there. Soft berries leave you more excess than just about anything else. Shut that off for a minute. Just dump this in my little container. That is just pure goodness. Okay, again, we're doing that early so we don't have to strain it. Okay. Sorry if the camera worked. I don't have a person to help me do the camera. Maybe later. Okay, this is spinach. I'm just hucking that in here and kind of shoving it in, and then I'll chase it with a few apples, because spinach can sometimes have a hard time getting down there and going through it. I'll get my finger cut off here. Spinach always squeaks inside the juicer. You can see we're already kicking out. Maybe you can't tell because my lighting's bad, but that's kind of a green juice. It's enough to make it a little bit healthier, but not so much that you notice the taste so much. Okay, now I'm going to throw in some carrots and celery here. Celery, to me, is the number one thing I found that clogged your juicer up. So I try to cut it up a little smaller. Some juicers require smaller cutting than others, so now we've got carrots and celery coming out. But this juicer seems to work better if you cut it up smaller. There's others that don't require it small. Okay, now cucumbers. I add cucumbers to lots of things because they're refreshing, and they don't have a bad taste, and you can just mix them in with all kinds of stuff and get the added vitamins and nutrients. Cucumbers, awesome. This is the same juice recipe that Gandhi always drank right before he won the Heisman Trophy. So this is a celebrity selected juice. Now we just put apples until our hearts are content. Now, some who have blood sugar issues, you got to be careful with the amount of fruit you do. I have been lucky enough to avoid blood sugar issues, even though I've been a massive sugar maniac. But you got to be careful with that. But for me, sweeter the better, and if I didn't get diabetes from eating all the massive amounts of junk food that I used to eat, it would be bad karma if I got it from eating too much fruit. But at any rate, this is me throwing caution in the wind and still trying to be healthy. Okay, so we're chucking our apples in here like a mad fool. This has got to be boring, but we're going to throw a few more in, and then I'm just going to get crazy and dump them all. As you can see, well, you probably can't see, maybe it's obvious, but I don't have a recipe for this one. I kind of learned as I've been going along what goes good together. Although I do have some really good recipes, and I promise I'll post them. I'll demonstrate how to make them. But you can see my juicer is really multicolored, and that's a good thing. The more colors you can put in your juice, the better. I'm not a nutritionalist, but I assume that each color, each food group that has a drastically different color probably has some different nutrients in it. So that's everything that goes in there. This is mostly apple coming out of there now, but you can't tell, but that's really quite dry and also fairly tasteless. The juice is where the flavor is, the juice is where the nutrients are. That's why juicing is such a preferred way over other things you can do with your fruit, over blending it or smoothies or whatever, because the juice leaves the stuff that doesn't have nutrients in it. It takes the stuff that does, and you can drink more of it because you don't get all this in your system while you're at it. Now, I'll start doing smoothies later on myself, but as far as juicing goes, I think this is a better way to go. So now I just have a little bowl. I'm going to switch hands, and I've never done this one-handed, but I'm going to pour this stuff in there, and oh, I'm spilling a bunch. Oh, Rachel Ray would be so cringing right now. But anyways, just get you a wire strainer and just strain it. You'd think you wouldn't need to, and some of you, maybe if you like floaties in your juice, that's cool. I personally don't as much, and so when I found about straining it, I was a lot happier with my results, and I enjoyed the juice a lot more, and that helped me to stay on it. If I wouldn't have discovered straining, I'm honestly not sure how long I could have done the juicing, because the texture was really bugging me. So, at any rate, and especially the high vegetable stuff, you got to strain. Then it's just a matter of dumping this awesome mix in with the soft berries. And it's a little kind of funky colored until you mix it with all those beautiful blackberries. And now we're looking good. Got a little spatula deal. Give it a nice little stir. Get everything mixed around good. And honestly, I don't know what to call this juice. I'd welcome any suggestions. So we've just got a big, beautiful thing of juice. I'm going to drink it. Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. This stuff here, if you are the kind of person that does like a compost bin, it would be excellent. There's a lot of recipes you could use if it required apple or whatever you're grinding up in here. Dump it in the disposal, throw it in the trash, whatever you like. Anyways, I know this video is stupid and lame, but if you would click like anyways, that would make me happy, and share this video. Over time, I've obviously got room for improvement from a professional standpoint, but I'm just wanting to do this tonight and give you an idea of what I do, a little bit about the juicer. There's different kinds. We'll talk about that later. At any rate, we're approaching 8 minutes. You are bored out of your mind, and so I am going to sign off by saying, juice is king.